right, we're here. We made it finally. Welcome to the Tri-State of Mind podcast. We are your hosts, Daniel Walcott.
It's your boy, Casper.
Chi.
And, yeah.
How y'all feeling?
Today's episode. I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling good. Chilling, maxing, relaxing. Let's get into today's topic. We're going to talk about let's talk about vacations and the different types of group trips, because I feel like you have your solo trip, which you've done, right?
Yeah,
I've never done a solo trip.
You got the solo trip and you got the Baecations.
You have the Baecations. You have a group trip, and then within group trip you have the guys trip, and then you have a how would you call it,
like a couple trip?
No, not a couple
you got
trip.
Guys trip.
Mixed crowd.
A mixed crowd.
But it's a word that
and a girls trip.
That's not coming from me. And a girls trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the mixed crowd trip.
So it'll come to me later, and then I'll go, that's the word I was looking for. So this is a guys trip.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
With your friends from back home.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
You excited about that?
Yeah, I'm excited. I saw some cheap flights, and it's good to see when you see a plan going to fruition, because everybody knows, when a trip kind of initiates, everybody want to go, but then at the end, towards the end, you see how things fade off, and it's good to see things go into fruition and the trip actually really happening, and it'll be a great time.
One of the hardest things to do is plan and execute a group trip.
Yeah, that is the most hardest thing to do.
Because
how many group chats do you think are living and dying in the group chat? that's never made it out.
Yo, that's never made it out. Yo, you're absolutely right. Like
we definitely have a few.
No, absolutely. I'm part of some, and so I think it's one of those things though where like every group trip needs a planner.
Yeah.
Like not, and I don't mean a planner as a title. I mean that's who they are in their being. Like this is something like they find joy in putting stuff together. You know what I mean? Like oh, we're gonna do this. Like that. Like I can plan. Like you can give me the title. Like oh, you gotta be a planner. I'm not gonna find like fulfillment and enjoyment in that. But there's always somebody who I think is a crucial part of a trip who wants to bring all the pieces together, wants to plan it, like wants to put all the excursions together. And so I think that's a crucial part of any group trip or activity.
That is true. I feel like without the planner, the trip won't probably go anywhere, because you need somebody to really put the vision to life, and then you need somebody to really like send links and
because everybody has stuff going on.
Because people will just talk about it, and then it just to the next thing. That's
it.
If there's no planner, trip really don't go nowhere.
That's irrelevant. I mean, the planners are relevant. Listen, I'm about to give you the gems of how to get the group chat how to get the group trip out the group chat. Mm-hmm. Yo, you just got to cut out. You know who's not going. you know who's not going. Yo, everybody knows who's not going on the trip. They just want to be involved. They just want to hear about it, but they're not going to make it. So I'm looking at one right now. Yo, I'm looking at one right now.
Yo, had they get in the group?
What you mean? Anytime you have if you have a group chat, there's gonna be a trip that comes up in the chat.
A trip conversation.
So you said even though I've been on multiple trips, you're saying I'm the guy who doesn't go on the trip?
Yo, tell me the last group trip you went on post undergrad.
Yo, the last trip we all went on, we went to Costa Rica. We had a
I know, that don't count.
How does that not
that
count?
Don't count. Yo, that don't count.
count.
That don't count.
How does that not count?
It was a bachelor party.
Yes, and
it was yours. It was your bachelor party.
It was
so
ours.
How you not going to show up?
How you not going to show up to your own bachelor party?
It was ours.
Come on, son.
All right, before that, you talking about with y'all? Because I've been on other trips. Just because I don't.
What other trip? What other trip?
I went to Jamaica.
When?
For my sister's wedding.
Come on, son. That's not a group trip. That's not a group trip.
Let me see.
You went to a wedding.
It's a family wedding.
Okay.
Let me see.
So wait. So how about this? No, matter of fact, let me put it on you. What trips have I missed out on? That
Houston.
Does that count?
Yeah.
Yes, it counts.
Yeah, that counts.
I missed out on Houston. I had something going on. I forget why I didn't go.
Yo, you always got something going on, and
Yo.
that's what I'm saying. You got to cut
Two
people like you.
Torontos.
2 Torontos. You got to cut
missed out
people
on
like
Toronto.
you. Yo, I had me and Casper came up with the blueprint a long time ago. Yo, just
what?
go. Yo, find all you gotta do is find one person who's trying to go on a trip, maybe 2, and just go.
That's the key.
That's the key.
That's the key.
You trying to get everybody together. You know, oh, how much
And
is
then plan
it?
from there.
No, you just gotta have 2 people locked in, and everybody else is gonna follow. Like me and Casper went to Carabana. You know, it was supposed to be me, Casper, and a couple other people, but of course, it didn't make it out the group chat. So he's like, yo, let's just buy a ticket and go. We went, we had a good time, and guess what happened? People were like, dang, they have FOMO. You know, we was like, we gonna spin the block and go back again. That's when my boy Pop came, Moses, all his people from like Rhode Island came. You know, and then it was like a real group trip.
It was a real good trip. Yeah, that was lit.
Y'all still didn't come, but
So, look, the group trip is made out of people in the group who go. So that second time in Toronto, you had all these people. You still needed to have a plan because y'all got an Airbnb or hotel. How did?
Hotel.
got a hotel.
Oh, you got a hotel.
It was
That's-
actually
It was a package.
It was a package. So they actually planned it for us.
Yeah.
who's that?
Like the Carabana people.
The official website. We went to the official.
How did they plan it with you and y'all?
Because they had they came with the tickets. It came with the hotels.
Oh, got
It
it.
came with everything. So we didn't have to like curate
Yeah.
the experience. We just had to.
You
Like,
just have to pay for it and
Pay
pick
it.
which parties you want to go to.
yeah.
Got you. And so for this trip that you're going on to Amsterdam, was it the same scenario where you said, I'm just going to go?
Yeah, no, there's no like travel planning like that. It was free. It was cheap tickets, so I went because the tickets were cheap, and then from there, I just planned my trip from there. I've done it before, so
Yeah, but you have other people going with you. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. Like, how did they come into play?
people saw cheap tickets. They was like, "Oh, I saw cheap tickets," and they was like, "Oh, you trying to get the
A
tickets?"
bunch of people didn't say, yo, we've all discovered cheap tickets to
Oh
Amsterdam.
yeah, one person said,
Okay,
they saw
got
cheap
you.
tickets. Introduced it to the rest of us. You know, some people was like, and then some people was like, I'm on it, and then like you said, like she said,
So you were part of the trip from the beginning.
nah, I actually was the second one. I actually was the last one on the trip.
So it was already a planned trip, and you added
but
yourself on.
because I have a good track record of going on trips. It was presented to me.
Yeah, so that's easy because they already, whether you was going or not,
They was going.
they was already going.
Like
So
she
you just
said.
had to, tag along. You
That
know,
makes
so,
sense.
So yeah, you gotta call it like a snowball effect. You just gotta get the ball rolling, and whoever can tag along tags along.
Yeah.
Otherwise-
But you're right, it always starts with 2.
Yeah,
So it sounds like to me that you guys are buying flights first and worrying about accommodation second.
Yeah, that's usually the yeah.
no, I don't want to say all that.
Well, it depends. It depends. So like when we did Toronto, we bought the tickets, we bought the package first, and then get the flights. But I think
Yeah,
it
we
all
bought the
depends
package.
on like how you do your trip. If you are going like for a purpose, like if you're going for Carabana, if you're going for like some type of event, then you want to get the package deal first because that stuff sells out. Mm-hmm. But if you're just going like, oh, we're just planning a trip,
Yeah.
I always, well, it all depends on the availability of the area, but I like to get the tickets cheap. I like to get the tickets because once you get the plane tickets, you know you're going.
You know you're going. And there's
Unless
always
you
going to
get
be
insurance.
some place to stay.
Huh?
There's
Yeah.
always going to be a
Yeah,
place
there's
to
gonna be
stay.
a place to stay.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's real.
But I mean, it depends on where you're going. Though you want to you want to at least check the Airbnb. You want to heat check the Airbnbs first before you buy the ticket.
So,
Before you buy the plane ticket.
co-ed. That was the word I was looking for.
Ah.
So you have
Okay.
your guys trip and you have your co-ed trip. This is a guy's trip. Co-ed trips are what? Are we past that? What are the rules around co-ed trips?
Depends on the rules of your household. You know what I mean?
You said what?
Depends on the rules of your household. Like, you know,
Depends on the rules of the household. Explain.
it's like
Yo, the people want to know what he's talking about.
so before.
What?
So I've been on a co-ed trip, but that's probably like my last one. So when I went on a 30th birthday party in Colombia, and it technically was co-ed.
Not
And
technically, it was.
Yeah, it was co-ed, but yeah, it was a co-ed trip. You know,
Gotcha.
30th birthday was in Columbia. Everybody had their own like living space, like their own living quarters.
Yeah, so it wasn't like the railroad.
Yeah,
It was like everybody had their own rooms
Right. Okay. Got you.
and their own bathroom, which is very important.
yeah,
Right.
The most important part.
Everybody held their. Okay. Got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Bathroom.
Got you.
like the
And
bathrooms in my
It was a
room.
villa- It was a villa situation, so it was like the common area.
I
Was
feel,
like,
but weren't you? I feel like wasn't somebody shacked up or somebody got left out. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not about to talk about that.
I think we have to talk about it because it goes into the vacation thing. Like if you do the Airbnb villa, which is very common and popular, like people are doing that now, especially with these big trips. How do you handle when you have 10 rooms and 11 people, or 10 rooms and 12 people? Like, because we had that same thing in Costa Rica, where there were more people than rooms.
but that's usually what happens when there's a late add-on, like a late rollover effect.
I mean, that wasn't what this was. They were just trying to make it cost effective, so they did have people
Somebody
like
was
sharing
gonna be,
rooms.
man,
Yeah,
So they try to make it so they got less rooms, knowing that.
yeah. Like the planner of the trip was trying to make it cost effective.
Okay.
So
Why you laughing? Yo, talk about it.
the planner of the trip was trying to make it cost effective, so people had to share rooms. So it's like the cost spreads. The more people there, the more the cost spreads.
Oh, got you.
But I had my own room.
Okay,
You know, like I was either gonna have my own room or I was gonna share a room with Casper.
got you.
You know,
Okay,
but it just worked out that I had my own bathroom.
Me too.
got you. But that wasn't the case for everybody on the trip.
Nah, it wasn't.
You guys just want to leave it at that.
What do you want me to say about it?
Yo, I don't want you to tell me anything. I want you to talk to the people because they weren't there. I wasn't there. I wasn't on the trip.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't have been me. That's what I can say. It couldn't have been me. I mean, he's just some people are team players. Call it that.
Okay, that's
some
fair.
people are team players.
That's fair.
Yeah,
'Cause I feel
you
like-
always. Oh, that's another component. You always need a team player
Yeah,
in a group trip.
So let's talk about.
That's a very good component because we talked about your planner.
So you need a planner. You need a team player. Multiple team players or just one?
I think everybody needs to be a team player
Yeah,
to a
but you
degree.
need one
So-
like designated.
No. You're not talking about team players. You're saying everybody needs to be a team player, but you're saying that somebody needs to be an L taker. That's what you're saying. You're saying somebody needs.
Nah,
Somebody needs to take the L.
that's like what he's saying. He's saying somebody needs
If you
to somebody needs to be an L taker.
If you know you got a housing situation like that, like if you know you got 10 rooms and 11 people, you definitely need an L taker component in that group.
No, you absolutely.
Now, if you got 10 rooms and 10 people, you don't really need that.
Nah, I don't think you need an L taker. You need somebody
that's
who's
an L
no. Hold on. I think you need somebody who's willing to take an L
That same thing
for the
Yo, it's
greater the
same
team.
thing.
Yeah, but you can't take L after L after L. Like yo,
I get what
it
you're saying.
got to
Like,
be.
hey, all the L's. We just pile all the L's on you.
Yeah, because like think about it. Think about the whole concept of like take one for the team.
Yeah.
How many am I supposed to take for the team? Like,
No, that's true.
like you got. It's your turn to take for the team, but it can't always be. I can't be the designated L taker. Like
That's real.
Another component is the fun person. Like you need somebody who brings
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Because with all the planning, it can be boring. It can be mundane. It can be, just, but the fun, you need somebody who incorporates fun because when on the trip, that's what makes the trip fun. Like fun, people who bring either fun activities or just have the fun spirit to bring the energy of somebody who just comes in, like somebody who comes in and as soon as y'all get into the spot, let's take shots.
Right.
Like, you get what I mean?
Right.
Somebody who's always like, all right, we going to they find a restaurant and the restaurant is a dope restaurant, or they find a place like, oh, what we doing? All right, we going out tonight. Like you know what I mean? Like always got something going. Always got an idea of something fun to keep it going. Because sometimes
I also feel like that should be everybody though. Like,
It-
everybody should be
It
fun.
should be, but like
like
on
the
a
initiator, the fun initiator.
when you're
I got
when
that.
you're on a group trip, like people have different personalities, right?
Yeah.
So you have the people that you want to you have people that you want to be there. Like you want the person who's gonna be lit. You want the person who who's willing to take one for the team. But you also have you got the cheap guy. The cheap guy's always gonna find his way on a trip. I've never been on a trip, with somebody who wasn't cheap. For some reason, they got enough money to get them there, and that's it.
That's true. You always have somebody who's cheap, every now and then you have somebody who like really likes to spend bread.
Oh, you got to spend. You got the big
you
spender.
got the big spender, but you don't always have the big spender, but you do always have the cheap person.
Absolutely. And so how do you deal with that?
Yo, that reminds me of the topic, the 130. You saw the topic online with the 135.
Oh yeah. She only had 135 for the
came
trip.
on the trip with 135.
Yeah, I saw that. So
how do you manage situations like that when somebody is the cheap person when they only got 135 on the trip? How do you manage that situation?
all right.
I feel like that person has to be the L taker, like that. Like you're kind of like,
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to be the L taker, but I think it also depends on your relationship with that person. One, like, and I shouldn't say. All right,
You
here's
gotta
what I'll
lead
say.
him home.
Well, no, but that's the
You
thing.
gotta
like,
lead him
you're
home.
already there.
No, you're already there. And
Yeah,
and
but
again,
it's like-
but
but it's-
people don't divulge that information until they're on a trip. We had the same thing in Costa Rica. It's funny because yo, you remember like we had the same thing in Costa Rica, and it had me thinking like, yeah, it's easy to say, well, just say F them and leave them home. It depends on your relationship with that person. I don't remember. I didn't listen to the whole story about the girl that you're talking about. I don't know if they were friends or that maybe they were just like on the same trip together. If we're just on the same trip, I don't know you like that. I don't care what you do. Don't come out with us because we're gonna be spending money. But if you're my boy and I'm like, yeah, you put me in a tight position, but I'm gonna look out for you as much as I can, where it doesn't now hinder my fun because now I got less funds that I have access to.
So this is what happened, and I think I'm gonna spin it back because that happened to me too. What happened was they all went out to eat, and you know when you go out to eat, you know, a group dinner on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, usually sometimes when you go to certain countries, it's one card. You know what I mean? So one person pays the check, and everybody got to pay him back. And what happened was she paid. Like she was like kind of bullshitting on paying back, and then when she paid it back, she was still like $40 or like still less than the amount that she paid back. And then when she was asking for the bread, then that person kind of disclosed of their financial situation.
She don't got it.
Yeah. And that can be a sticky situation where
Yeah, but why come out? Hey guys, I'm gonna stay in for the night.
Yo,
And
people
then if
have
they start
FOMO.
pressuring you out.
Nah, you know how them group dinners is. Sometimes you think you're gonna spend $40, and then all of a sudden,
That's true.
The round of shots come around.
Yeah, but why are you going on a
And then
trip?
you spend $80.
But you cannot go on a trip with no money.
You can't, but I feel like people have FOMO. People don't want to miss out, and they're hell bent on going on the trip or going on the event, regardless of whether they have money.
gotta grow up.
Like they just, yeah, they do.
There's more trips to be had.
They do.
There's always more trips and fun times to be had.
But I feel like when you was young, most people go on trips when you kind of,
Yo, absolutely, yes, but that's one of those trips. Like that's like spring break Miami, spring break Panama City Beach, where everybody's broke.
How about another rule? Though it should be designated as a broke trip. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like we all know we all got 135. So.
Yeah, we just gonna go to the beach and we're not gonna do nothing crazy. We're not going to the club and buying bottles. No, we just going to the beach, going to the pool. All that stuff is free. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I get it.
Yeah.
Y'all trying to take a road trip for 135 each?
No.
And see how that goes?
Yeah,
No.
I think I saw.
Yo, that's his. Yo, he's the cheap guy. Yeah.
Yes, I'm the cheap guy.
You're not the broke friend on the trip, but you're the cheap. You're the cheap, frugal.
Absolutely.
Don't want to spend no money.
Well, it's not that I don't want to spend money. It's like
Agreed.
I've been out enough where I know where I'm gonna have fun. So I wanna specifically choose my fun. And so if the group wants to do something that I feel like is not gonna be fun, like I just feel like yo, it's almost like a waste of time.
So why you want a group trip?
Yo, for other things. So I'm not talking about like I'm not gonna have fun on the trip. I'm talking about maybe a specific excursion or activity that y'all want to do. I'm like, all right, but again, like with our group trip at work, because like some things like half went here, half went there. Like it was enough of us, and I felt like we've experienced everything on that trip. We had the baller, right? Joe was out there spending money like it was nobody's business.
And my cousin Marcus.
And your cousin, Marcus too. Then you had the Liddy one, which I don't know. With that, Isaac was more reckless than Liddy, but he was Liddy. Yeah. I feel like he was Liddy.
I feel like everybody was lit though.
Everybody was lit. Rob had to take the L because he had his own room. He purchased his own room. Derek was the last one to pay, so he had to share automatically. Ariel was the last one to turn his money. And he didn't. I don't even think he put up. I think somebody had to cover him. Probably a couple people had to cover him. But none of the matter. Ariel was supposed to share a room because of that. So because Rob missed his flight, Rob couldn't claim his room. So Ariel took his room. And Rob ended up sharing with Derek. But it shouldn't have went down that way.
You should have been an enforcer in that scenario.
Rob took the L.
You should have been an enforcer, like, nah, bro, you can stay here tonight, but
that's what I told him.
You gotta.
But once they get in the first night,
yo, once you get in the first night, you
once they sleep in the bed, bro.
Once you sleep, so
that's true.
So now you slept in the bed, your luggage is unpacked, and so now when Rob gets there, like, I don't know where I'm at. I can't be there to be an enforcer. I can let Rob, if you want to enforce this and kick Ariel out, that's within your right. And I'm going to support you in that. But he was good, like you said. Like, he was willing to take the L, take one for the team. And so, yeah. And then Ariel, right, was the cheap one on the trip.
Speaking of the trip.
It turned out to be funny, some of the stuff that he did. Was for the
rooming situations can always be sticky, too, on a group trip.
You said what?
Rooming situations can always be sticky.
It could.
What's a good rule of thumb when it comes to selecting rooms on a group trip?
Stay with somebody you know. That's the only rule that matters. Stay with somebody. As a grown adult, I'm not sharing a room with somebody I don't know.
Are you all for like free fall? Like whoever get there first picks the room?
I think so. Typically, when you're going out on a group trip, it's usually around an event. So I think whoever's event it is gets the best room, whether it's like a birthday, a bachelor party, or whatever.
That's real. I agree.
And then, but let's say it's not one of those. I would either the person who plans it, put in the most work planning it, should get first dibs, or like you said, first come, first serve. That's how I think that's fair.
I think that's probably why he said he missed his flight.
Yo, he did miss his flight.
First come, first serve. I know you're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all that sounds good until you're the one with the shitty room, like
yo.
When you got the jail size room, it's like, all right.
Yo, that's the L you got to take.
That's real.
That's the L you got to take. So I don't know, like co-ed trips, I'm with it. Couples trips, I'm not a fan of couples trips.
What?
I'm not a fan of couples trips because one, to me, a couples trip is just an extended double date, right? And there's nothing worse than a double date.
You said couple or couples?
I'm talking about couples. So I'm not talking about a vacation.
Oh yeah.
I'm not talking about a
right,
vacation.
right.
I want to. Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sorry.
So a vacation is
right.
You and your significant other, y'all going out, y'all having a good time. Those are great. We love those. I'm talking about is me and you and me and this person and usually, I mean, obviously it's not going to be me. I'll never set something up like that. So usually it's my significant other, my wife, who's going to be setting it up like, oh, like this couple wants to go and this person, this person.
Have you ever been on a couple?
Like almost like a half. Like I've been on like a half couple.
Couple staycation. Staycation that counts like a cabin trip or something like that. Or?
I've never.
No, I've never been on one of those.
The closest I've been to was Sparkle's sister's birthday, where there were I think like 4 couples and then like 2 people or 3 were single. So it was almost.
It's not really a couples trip.
So that's a co-ed trip, you would say?
Yeah, it's a co-ed trip.
What?
It's a co-ed trip where people brought their significant others.
Nah, that's a couple trip.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but it's not.
Just change the math up.
Yo, if everyone's not a couple, it's not a couples trip. You can't have singles on a couples trip. It's no longer a couples trip. Once you add singles to the couples,
so you're saying one single ruins a couples trip?
Yo, it's not a couples trip.
Okay, so that's fair, but it almost
they had 3 singles.
They had 3 singles.
I think it was 2.
Okay, that's a
2.
co-ed trip.
I think it was 2.
Yeah, it was a group.
co-ed.
It's a group. That's just a group trip with couples.
Yeah, but it's too. It's close enough. It's close enough where I don't like it.
Yeah, but I feel like
a group trip with couples. Yeah.
I feel like a couple's like vacation trip is different than what you went on. That was a birthday. That was a birthday party. That was a birthday trip.
Sure.
So it's like if all of us went on like a couple's trip. Yeah, you're not going for like my birthday. Like, oh, let's go on a couple trip for my birthday because now I'm focused. So now it's like we're partying for my birthday.
Right.
Y'all went to celebrate, her sister's birthday
as couples.
Yeah, but you just happen to have your couple there, but it was a birthday trip.
Oh yeah, what couples?
I feel like it was closer. So if it's a spectrum, I feel like it was closer to couples trip than it was to just a co-ed trip.
Now it's a birthday trip.
Yeah, but
A birthday couple trip.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but even
It was a birthday group trip.
Yeah, but even under birthday, even under group, it has to fall into one of those buckets.
Yeah, but I've never actually been on a couples trip, but I can only imagine that.
Do you want to?
What was your
Maybe we'll see.
Because you never finished your take on couples trip. Man.
I don't like them.
He never been. No, he's never been on one.
Yo, have I been on a couple? I've been.
No, you went on a group trip.
Let me just go back in my memory.
Yo, why you think? What's it called? I feel like a couples trip is you're basically doing what you would do on a vacation, except every now and then
you do group activities.
You do group activities, but you also don't have to. Like you're on a vacation.
Okay, so I thought about it. So maybe I've never gone on a couples trip, which is good for me, right? I count that as a win in my book. But I don't know if I don't know if that's right. That there's some activities on a couples trip that you could opt out of.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I don't have to do everything.
Yeah, you don't have to do everything, but you do. But what makes it a couples trip? You should at least have like one.
Like we all might go. We all might go to the pool together,
or we may stay in the same resort, or you may stay in the same villa. But you all.
We're just staying in the same resort. We're going to the pool, so it's like
like we would interchange with each other. Like we would definitely like, oh, let's go to the pool and have some chill time. Let's do this, but not everything that you would.
Okay.
Do. Yo, instead of you being at the tiki bar pool by yourself, making new friends, you're there with your boy.
So okay. So maybe my idea of a couples trip is a little different, right? Maybe I've seen too many movies. So to me, again, couples trip is an extended double date. The issue with the double date is one, you're not really competing, but you're either competing or you're comparing with the other couple that you're with, right? On a double date.
Okay.
The good thing about the double date is that at any point in time, it's almost over, right? We're not going home together, like it's almost over. So when you look at a couples trip, it's an extended double date where now I'm locked in for 4 or 5 days.
It depends.
But what I'm hearing from you guys is that a couples trip is not like, we're coming together and we're doing things together. It's more like, we just staying at the same resort.
I will say,
yes.
No.
For the most part, but like y'all,
anything more than that, I'm out.
Nah, you're staying at the same resort.
Anything more than that, I'm out.
But you also have an opportunity to do stuff together.
I think it all depends on the relationship of the women.
The women?
Yeah, the women. Because if the women are close, they're going to want to do things. So if you like it or not, they're probably going to have their own.
That's my point. That y'all saying, we have the option to opt out. No, nigga. But, if your wife's or significant other's best friend is like, hey, we about to do this, you're going. Because guess what? If you don't, now you have an issue. Now there's a couples fight. And that's the other issue that I have with couples trips is that one couple is guaranteed to fight. And it's guaranteed.
I don't think so.
It's guaranteed. Come on, son. Come on, son.
Yo, let's put it to the test.
We can
put it to the test.
I wouldn't mind going. Yeah, but y'all are my boys, so I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say.
If it was like curated through your wife,
so basically, you don't.
I don't really know.
So let's say that. All right, so let's say that.
Let's say that. Now, I will say that could get crazy because when you don't know the guys, I will say, couples trip. From a guy's perspective, definitely would get more expensive than a vacation because, like you said, if you don't know the guy, it takes one extra guy that just want to do the most.
Just do the most.
And then,
let's get the 2-level yacht. Let's get the 2-level yacht. And now again, it's either competition or comparison.
You're right.
He's willing to shut it out. Come on, babe. Let's just do it. Don't be the. No, I just want to stay by the pool today. That's not gonna slide.
You know what it is?
Everybody got to put in the double-decker yacht.
Nah, that will create an argument, but it's also just.
That's all I'm saying.
Yo, you can't be going on these couple of trips just freestyling it. Like you gotta have an itinerary.
True.
You gotta have an itinerary because
even if you have an itinerary, somebody can deviate.
Yeah, but it's like then it's a deviation. Then it's a deviation.
I think the itinerary is key. I agree with that.
Because, like, were you surprised by anything when you went to? Because where'd you go for the birthday?
Cabo.
So you went to Cabo. Were you surprised by anything? Any expenses? Did any surprise expenses happen on that trip, or were you kind of aware of everything that was going to happen?
No. I was aware of everything that was going to happen, but there were some people who went off to do like other things. Like,
did you join them?
I didn't join them.
Exactly. Exactly. You didn't have to.
Yeah, but this wasn't a couples trip. It was a co-ed trip, according to you guys.
But you.
According to you guys, it was a co-ed trip.
I will say co-ed trips is more time to me. It's more time to me to do like
to do your own thing.
But I feel like couples trips is more inclined to do things together.
And again, I think a co-ed trip is just a guy's trip or a girl's trip with a different sex on it. You know what I mean? So
basically,
it's really not anything like what it's not really like anything too deep. But it's I mean, I think a guy's trip and a girl's trip is certainly, again, you don't want to bring your significant other. That's a no. Let's just make that clear. If you have a guy's trip, because I've seen this conversation online too. If you have a guy's trip or a girl's trip, significant others aren't allowed.
Yeah, that's kind of like you
ruining the vibe.
Yeah,
just don't go.
Yeah,
it's a girl's trip.
Yeah, why would you go?
It's not a girl's trip and your man. It's a guy's trip. It's not a guy's. I mean, guys typically don't do that. You usually see that with women, but yeah, but
because that's because they want their designated D on the trip with them. that's really all it is.
That could be very that.
Or they want somebody to.
That's what I was about to say.
Oh, what?
Spend that bread.
Oh, gotcha.
They like, yo, he spend that bread.
Yeah.
If their man don't come, then they got $135. So that's
funny.
They need him to split the check.
Yo, that's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind going on a couple's trip only because I know like it's just the way I see it is I'm really only involving the other couple in the social aspect of my trip. Like anything that I'm doing socially, like if I'm about to go out to the bar or the club and I'm like, all right, I'm about to go out with another couple as a friend, I'm already going to be around other couples.
You're right. And when I think about like the trip that we went on, like that was the fun part. Like we all got dressed up together, like maybe it was like a white night or whatever.
Yeah.
And we went out at night and we partied together. Like that part was
fun.
That part was fun. And so I'm not downplaying that trip at all because I really did have a good time. I guess what I'm saying is that when I vacation, I like to vacation on my own time. And so it actually may be more of a me thing than an actual issue with a couple's trip. Even if it's a vacation, I'm not the type to, we got to do this at 9, we got to do this at 10, we got to get up and do this, and this excursion play. Yo, I want to get up. It's a vacation. I want to get up when I want to. I want to do what I want. I want to eat when I want. And so I think when I think of couples trips, it just sounds to me like one big itinerary. Yeah. It's a lot more planning involved.
Yeah.
I don't like the vacation that way.
Yeah, I feel you on that, but I feel like people need to communicate prior. Like, people got to stop going places just figuring it out and be like, yo, let me see what happens. Just speak your piece.
You end up going somewhere and you can't get in because you need a ticket.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or sold out. Or like
that's real.
You end up paying more.
Yeah.
And if you would have just planned ahead.
Yeah. That's
or
real.
Something's not even available because you didn't even do the homework.
You know what's funny? If the cheap person on the trip is smart, they can slowly but surely convince everybody else not to do something they don't want to do because they want to save money. Only if smart.
That is real.
You gotta be real strategic. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I've been that guy. It reminds me of the time.
Throw the monkey wrench.
You gotta throw because it reminds me of the time when we went to Cabo. Right, there was like this beach.
You about to telling yourself right now?
I am, but it was this beach party. And so when we got there, the shit looked whack, like trash. And so I'm like, I'm not paying to buy a table at this beach party just to listen to this techno music and just to.
No vibes.
It was no vibes. And so like I'm like, so first thing you got to do, right? All right, oh man, you downplay it. Oh man, where's everybody? Like, all right, you downplay the fun. That's step number one.
That's step number one. All right.
Like, you look, you're like, oh nah, man, I don't even know. And then you gotta find. Second thing, you gotta find somebody to agree because if it's a chain reaction, you gotta get somebody to agree. Oh man, I thought it was gonna be lit. Oh yeah, this don't look that fun. All right, bet. Me and him are now in agreement that like this is not what it is. Boom. Now let's get to the pricing. So we get to the front, and they give us the menu of all the bottles. Oh, all right, 2 bottles, $1,200. Boom. You got to do it. You got to do it out loud. Let people see. Like, because if everybody looks at it, and again, especially if you're on a couples trip, nobody wants to be the guy who's cheap, who can't spend on his lady, who doesn't want to spend money. But, sometimes you got to be that guy. oh, what? Yo, I thought this was Mexico. Yo, why are we paying New York City prices in Mexico? And then oh, so now people realize like, oh man, not everybody's with it. So who's ever secretly agreeing with you, but who has not verbally said it, can now attach
themselves to the group.
Oh, bro, yo, he's right. Yo, these prices are out of control, right? Boom. And now that's how you kind of seed dissent into the group to say, yo, let's just find something else to do.
That's perfect.
That's it. That's how you do it.
So it worked.
It will absolutely work. We got there. We looked at the menu. We turned around and we left. We found something else to do. And guess what? I don't know how much money I saved, but I saved a lot. Yo, I saved it. And not only that, it's not only about saving money. Sometimes it is, but it truly was not going to be a good time. It was, yeah. We weren't going to have fun.
And that's another thing too. Something like overrated. Something that's overrated. That's expensive. That is. I feel like I overpaid, and then it's not even fun.
Not even worth the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
That's just.
I agree 100%.
It was nothing worse than seeing something that you know is not going to be worth the money, realizing it's not going to be worth the money, end up paying for it and being right. Like, oh, it wasn't worth it. Like, all right.
Like, I convinced myself to do it, and I knew I was right.
Yeah.
How do you handle panhandlers when you travel? Like, when you travel?
Yo, get away from me. Yo, get away from me. So.
What do you mean, like panhandlers? Like,
panhandling is crazy.
Yeah, like depending on certain countries, like Jamaica's really bad. Like Mexico, when I went to
Colombia, Jamaica was bad.
Into it.
Yeah, yo, I don't got it.
Yo, I treat it like how I treat it in the States. Yo,
Yeah,
no eye contact. Yo, no eye contact. I gotta keep going straight.
Yo,
but they relentless. Remember when we was in Colombia?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, every day, bro. They was outside.
Yeah,
relentless.
They are relentless.
Like they set up the tables in front of your spot.
Yeah.
They are all.
They're good. I ain't gonna lie. They're good.
They called me at the end. I was like, all right, bro. Like after 4 days, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta give you something.
Yeah.
Man. I gotta get something.
It's not a good experience. Like it's because I remember when we was in Colombia too. We was at the beach and like literally we just wanted to just hang out, just chill, play some music, and just vibe. Every 2 minutes, somebody would come by. Oh, we're selling this. Oh, do this. Oh, we'll do that. Like we don't want all that. Like you just seen the past 10 guys coming in there. We said no, we don't want whatever you're selling, and you still gonna come over. And
somebody get the hair braided on the beach? With y'all?
Yeah. I mean that was worth the money. Yeah, Joe did get his hair braided.
Oh, true.
Yeah, and Mike bought the coconut. So like, I'm not saying all of it is pointless, but like, bro, like a rap performance. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear you rap.
Yeah,
I'm not giving you money for that.
So you're not in the street, you're not in the underground. You gotta get the underground sound.
Nah, can't do the panhandlers.
Nah, but I do remember being in Jamaica. We went to Jamaica a couple years ago for my birthday, and we went to Dunn's River.
Dunn's River, yeah.
Yo, when I say the walk back to the bus was treacherous.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So I got. So I got when I was little, and then I would never get got again.
How'd you get got?
We went to Dunn's River, right? And anybody who's been to Dunn's River knows what you're talking about. That's
exactly.
The crazy part. So whatever, we walking back, you know what I mean? And like I'm younger, and so like I'm looking at whatever they got. They're like, oh, we got this, but I don't got no money, so I'm not buying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm catching up with the group. Some guy walks next to me. He's like, oh, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, what's your name? I'm like, yo, my name's Dan. Yo, he carved my name into the toy that he was trying to sell me. And then he was like, oh, yeah, this is for you. I'm like, oh, man, no, I don't got any money. I caught up with the group. He ran after me. He was like, yo, you have to buy it because your name is carved into it. I'm like,
that's a common name.
What?
Like,
yeah, that's a good scam tactic.
What? And so, I had to give him the money. I gave him the money.
Got him.
And that was it. Ever since then.
So who gave you the money to give him?
I think my mom. Somebody. Yeah, my mom probably gave him the money for it.
Was she upset?
She wasn't that upset, but she was like, yo, you just learned your lesson.
You got to pay attention.
Yeah, you just learned your lesson. So like, yeah, I'm like, yo, it's whatever.
Yo, somebody on our bus, they didn't know the rules. Yo, no eye contact. He made the eye contact. It was you locked in.
Yeah, they hound you.
Yo, I don't know what he I think he ended up buying like a reggae hat or something like that. Yo, but old boy followed him onto the bus, like, and he had to give like his card information. Like, oh, I don't got no cash. Like, yo, he said, all right, I take cards. Like, hey, yo, they plugged that in. Yo, we should have been back at the. I was hungry. We should have been back at the resort like 30 minutes. 30 minutes ago.
No eye contact, and then if that doesn't work, yo, find a new language to speak. Yo, they speak their home language and they speak English. Find a new language to speak. If you're dealing with panhandlers,
Yo, no eye contact.
No eye contact. Yo, speak a different language, a language that they don't know, and that's it. And then also, because some panhandlers, like honestly, like some panhandlers, they don't have a gimmick. They'll just ask you for money, and I'll be like, yo, I was just about to ask you for what you was asking me for. Oh, you want $1? Oh, I was about to ask you for that. I'm like, yo, we both don't got $1 at this point, so low, it's over with. I think,
how you handle? You got to listen to their story, or if they got a good story.
Yo, I ain't got time for that, but I think you just got to have a good product. If you got something, I'm always a sucker for shot glass, so I always like to get shot glasses in places I visit. So if you got a cool shot glass,
my dad collects shot glasses.
I get a shot glass and get it. So I like that.
Are you outside of Amsterdam? Y'all got any trips planned coming up?
Peru.
Y'all, is that a group trip?
Yeah.
We got 3 people.
Is 3 people a group trip?
You got to answer that question. How many people do you need for it to be a group trip?
More than 2.
More. I think it has to be more than 3.
More than 3?
I think more than 3.
So what would we call a 3 group? Like, what would you call that?
No, it's just a trip. Yeah, it was just a trip. Is it are 3 people real? Like nobody would look at us walking in some. There's a group of guys in there. Oh, there's only 3 guys. It's just 3 of us.
Well, we got to define group. Like,
I think
how many?
I think group is 4 and more.
Nah, I feel like 3. So what would you call? What would you call 2 people?
Yo,
2
we
people
just going
taking
on
a
the trip. I wouldn't put a name on it. What would you call it?
I don't know.
Yes, I'm trying to say. Yeah, I just think I just wouldn't call anything. It's just 3 of us.
Just took a trip. Three people took a trip.
Yeah, just 3 people took a trip, and then after that you can start. Applying names to it.
I think 3 is a group trip.
All right,
3 or more.
So we agree to disagree. Who's going on the trip?
Me, Casper, and one of his boys.
And yet, where y'all going?
Peru.
So y'all got accommodations?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where y'all staying?
We got an Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Happy for you guys. So,
you want to come?
But no. Do y'all? I mean, if I go, then y'all can answer this question because y'all really didn't answer the question. I think I was asking if y'all going on a group trip. Maybe I didn't ask that. Y'all have any group trips planned or coming up?
Yeah, Peru.
That's not a group trip.
Yes, it is.
Yo, if I go, it'd be a group trip. I'm
no, 3 more people. 3 more people is a group trip.
3 more people is not a group trip, but that's okay.
Yo, 3 or more people is a group trip.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
What would you call it?
You don't have to call it anything. It's just 3 people going on vacation together.
So 4 people is a group trip.
4 people is a group.
I feel like 3 is more. 4 people going on a trip. That's almost a couple trip.
No, not if it's co-ed or not if it's a guy's trip or a girl's trip.
Yeah, we going on the guys trip.
Yeah, we're going on the guys trip.
I'll take that. I'll take that. If y'all want to see y'all going on a guy's trip, sure.
So how many people do you need for it to be a guys trip?
I think you would need 3.
Minimum 3.
I think minimum of 3.
It's still a guys trip. I think you just need all the same sex.
2 guys, but I'm going on a guy's trip. Oh, word? Yeah, it's just me and my man. Yo, that's call that a vacation. Two guys on a trip.
No Diddy.
It's a vacation.
No Diddy.
Yo, guys trip. Yo, I'm stamping it. Guys trip 3 or more. Yo, group trip is 4 or more. Yo, if you and your man is going on a trip together, yo, don't call it anything. If you want to call it something, call it a vacation. Yo, that's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
I
think I could agree with that. I think a guy's trip is 3 or more.
Yeah.
A group trip, I'll actually say is 5 or more.
Okay. And 4?
Yo, 4 is just it's still in the realm of a guy's trip or a girl's trip. Like 5, it's like that's a group. Like 5 is a group. 4 is just it's too even. It's too even of a number.
I think 4 is a good number. I
would
have
consider 4 a group. That's a lot of people.
There is
4 people that fits a whole car.
4 is a good number.
I think 4 is. I think 4 is a good number.
4 is a great number for a
4 is a
guy's
good number.
trip. But if I'm gonna say a group,
What
I think 5 or more. Say 5 or more for a group.
4 is
Well,
probably
that's the max amount of people you can put in a car.
I was gonna say 4 is probably actually the perfect number. 1 in front, 3 in the back. Not only that, but if one person, was just kind of chilling for the day, and you know what I mean, as me, didn't want to kind of go out and do whatever, you still have, 3 guys who are out kind of doing their own thing. That's actually all right. We'll also stamp that 4 people is the perfect number to go on vacation with. If you're doing a
guy's trip, yeah,
guy's trip or a girl's trip, huh?
Going to Peru?
No, when is it?
Yeah, man.
No, too soon.
Yo, he doesn't go on guys or group trips.
I do go on guys and group trips.
No, you don't.
First of all, I might be going to Curacao
For a wedding.
Okay,
That don't count. That doesn't
How does
count.
that not count?
It doesn't count.
Yeah, that's like an obligation. That's not leisure.
Yo,
I think it's leisure.
Because if you had a choice to go, you would go.
Your last group trip that wasn't tied to a wedding or a birthday party
Was what?
or that was undergrad.
You saying that wasn't tied to a wedding?
Yeah.
So that means the bachelor party doesn't count.
It's tied to a wedding.
Was undergrad? Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, because one, I go on family vacations because I just spend time with my family.
Such a family man.
I'm a family man, and then 2, or I'll go on a couples trip.
When was the last couple?
Not a couples trip, a vacation. I never use that word, so that's why it's not really flying off the tongue.
Yeah. So you are.
I think my
So you
bad.
prefer vacations over guys trips?
But I don't prefer to call it a vacation. I feel like a vacation is for 2 people who barely know each other and they just want to go on vacation and have, ravaging sex together, which is fine. which is fine, but I feel like that's where vacation came out of. Like, I feel like 2 people who are in a relationship, a long relationship, or who are married or whatever, when they go out, they didn't call it vacation. I was like, that's a new...
So what do you call it?
That's a new term. They did like some things just don't have names to them.
I mean, you are with child now, so now any trip with your child is now a family vacation.
True.
But a trip
Walkout
without your
family
child, a trip with just you and your wife is now a vacation.
It's technically a vacation, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So you may not like calling it, but that's what it is.
Correct. So that's fine.
But yeah, like I said, you don't go on guys trip. You don't go on group trips. Hence the reason why I would never really add you into the group chat for a trip.
First of all, I
because it's gonna die. It's gonna live.
I feel like whether I go or not is up to me, but I should still get an invite.
No,
I should still get an invite.
That's how.
I need to know my boys are thinking of me.
No,
We just saw how you create a cesspool of how you create doubt in groups. We're
Yo,
not gonna allow you
I
to create that same doubt in the group trips.
I need my boys.
Yo,
to
if you want the group,
let me know they're thinking of me.
If you want the trip to leave the chat, you got to be mindful of the members of the chat.
I'm actually as we're speaking, I'm actually in a group trip chat.
For where? For where?
I think we're going to Curacao.
That's not it's a
No,
wedding.
I'm not talking about the wedding. I'm talking about it's 2025. It's not even 2024. That's how good this planner is. This planner that's part of the trip that's putting things together. Not only. Hold on. Not only do we have like a PowerPoint presentation, but she didn't even plan it the next year. She said, "No, I'm gonna give y'all enough time to save, to get ready, to raise your children. Whatever you need to do."
Who's putting the trip together?
2025. This girl I went to high school with, Saskia. It's a couple. It is a couples trip. But she put it together because we all went to high school together, but we're all in relationships now. And she was like, "Yo, let's do this. Let's have fun together." And we've never,
So
I've
are you
never been
going?
on a trip with my high school friends.
Are you going?
Outside of the bachelor? Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I can't wait to that episode, man.
Yo, I'm going.
So you going on a couples trip with
No, because
strangers?
she did everything right.
So you going on a couples trip with strangers?
No, they're not strangers. These are people I've known longer than I've known most people.
Their significant other strangers.
No. I don't know them as well as I know you, but I know them well enough.
The significant others?
The significant others. Most of them, not all of them.
Have you been out with them in a social setting?
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them.
Some of them, yeah.
So it'll be new territory.
It'll be a little new territory, but I think because I think it's because this is the way I think about it, right? And I'm glad you guys are bringing this up. Women run trips, whether it's couples or co-eds. Women are usually the spearheads, and so because this is a couples trip in which I know the women, it almost makes it a little better for me because now if I'm like, yo, I don't want to do nothing, I don't have to go through my wife to go to her friend to do whatever. Yo, I'm telling my friend who's running a trip, yo, I don't think we should do this. I'm going to be over here instead, or we're going to do this. And so maybe that's why I feel a little bit better about it, because I actually have the relationship with the women as opposed to either having a relationship with nobody, meaning not the women who are on the trip or the significant others who I don't know, which is usually the case for couples trips. Y'all want to come? I'm sure I could get y'all in. It's in 2025.
What's the buy-in?
I'll send you the PowerPoint presentation. It has
Let me see the PowerPoint. If it looks too good, then I don't know.
It has a prices, all that. Yeah, okay. I've been many places. You only go to a place once?
I tried to.
Why?
Because the world's so big. I feel like there's other things I could do.
So you haven't been to a place that you love so much that you want to go back?
Well, I love so much.
Because you went back.
I've been to a place twice. Like I've been to Toronto.
I was gonna say you did Toronto back to back, like Drake.
Yeah, I did back to back. But you know what I mean. But it's two different experiences.
But that's my point.
Yeah,
that's why you would want to go back. But now you're being a little snobby.
Well, I broke my rule once for that, but like I wouldn't, you know.
Yeah, but don't break it for Toronto. Break it for Curacao. Don't break it for the 6. Yeah, you're gonna break a rule. Don't do that. I mean, we love Carabana. I'm sure it was a great time, but
it was. But yeah. So you're a couples trip.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go on my first one. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna go on my first one. I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah, so that's the kind of trip that you're interested in. Couples trip, for real. Because those are the only trips that make it out of the group chat with you in it.
I just came back from a guy's trip.
What guy's trip did you come back from?
Mike, Joe.
Oh, the bachelor.
Yeah, it was Joe's bachelor party.
Yo, that's tied to a wedding.
Okay, but
it's tied to a wedding. It's not a guy's trip.
It's still a guy's trip.
It's tied to a wedding.
It's still a guy's trip.
Yo, were you the best man?
Yes.
Okay, so you had obligation to go.
So how about
you don't have obligation to go on a guy's trip that's tied to nothing. That just fellowship.
So put together a trip and count me in.
No, I'm not putting.
Put together a trip and count me in.
Why would I waste my time?
Put together a trip and count me in.
Oh, why would I waste my time?
Put together a trip and I'm in.
Yo, how long you been out of school?
Yo, first of all, because y'all.
How long have you been outside of school?
Well, one, I don't like the way y'all do trips, right? Y'all.
You never been on a trip with us to know how we do trips.
I know how y'all do trips.
How we do trips.
How we do trips.
It be co-ed. It's the earlier trips, the earlier ones when y'all was single, yo, they was raunchy. So here, let me
stop it.
No, because y'all want to talk about it. No, because y'all want to talk about it. No, because y'all want to talk about. Let's talk about it.
I've been on no raunchy trips. Stop it.
Hold on. Let me say this. I missed out on one trip. The first cabin trip that our friend group we have a group called the Terminsters. The first cabin trip I missed out on, right? And I'm not saying y'all was doing it, but I'm saying there were some things that were going on that got back, right? And so the rule is whatever happens on the trip, you're supposed to stay on the trip. As soon as it got back, cabin trip 2 is done. It's cooked. I wasn't going. And now you blaming me talking about you don't come out with this. As soon as that story came back around to my household, it was gone. It was cooked for me. It was cooked.
So that's why you can't go on a trip.
That's why I've never been on the trip. That's why I've never been on the cabin trip. You don't think I want to go? Y'all see all my people, my friends are there having a good time? That's why.
So how can you never went to Toronto with us?
How come I never went to Toronto? Okay, let me explain Toronto. There's nothing wrong with Toronto. Carabana every year is the same weekend as Sparkle's birthday. That's not going to rock. If I'm not bringing her, that's not going to work. What's the next one? See, they think I'm not. They think I don't want to go out and have a good time, but they're wrong. It's always an excuse. It's a good excuse. I went to Panama City. I went second time.
Okay.
Panama City. First time I didn't go because I was doing alternative spring break. I was giving back to my community and the communities around me. So I wasn't able to do that. But the second time I went to Panama City,
you got an excuse for everything, don't you?
Lie. When I did go,
you got an excuse for everything, don't you?
I did wish I went the first time when I went the second time because it was a good time. Panama City Beach.
And what happened to Colombia?
Okay, Colombia was a little different. Colombia was that the same year? Or was that the year before? that we had our weddings?
It was a year before.
Nah, that might. It was 2020, I think.
It was before the weddings.
It was,
Or it's 2020. Was it? It was either 20.
It was before the weddings.
no, it couldn't have been 2020. 2020, everything was shut down because y'all went in like May, right?
No, we're doing the COVID during COVID.
Yeah, but COVID.
It might have been
was an extended
2021.
period of time. That's
It
what
might have
I'm
been
trying to say.
2021. Yeah.
It's during COVID. I know that.
Right, so that's why I didn't go. I was cash strapped. I wanted to go. It would have been a good time, and it was Zay's 30th birthday. Like that's a good reason to go out, like celebrate the 30th. You know what I mean? I would have went, but I just didn't have the cash on me. I had to save for the wedding. I was spending all this money.
So you going to my?
What about Houston?
You going to my trip next year? My 35.
Where we going?
I don't know. I'm playing.
Oh, all I asked for is an invitation, and I'm in because y'all telling the people that I got a
What
bad
about
rap,
Houston? What about
and
Houston?
now they know that I
Yeah,
don't.
what happened in Houston?
What happened to Houston?
Houston, I didn't have the money at the time. See, I'm
Okay.
that friend. No. Let me tell the people something real quick. So they're trying to get at me like, oh, like you don't go out, you know. But I'm really like, I'm the thoughtful friend that says, you know what? Can I go on this trip? Yeah, flight to Houston, that's cheap, that's nothing. But I know when we touch down, I don't want to be the guy to be like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't do that. If I would have knew somebody would have won the lottery or, you know what I mean, did whatever happened, and I wouldn't have to spend money anyway, I would have been there. But that was information that was told to me after.
Sometimes you got to show up to know.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I should have showed up. I should have went to Houston. I should have went to Houston.
Yeah.
I should have believed.
So regardless of your reasoning excuses, we done gave you like 9 different trips that you had a reason that you didn't go on.
Good reason. I had a good reason.
Why would I include you in a future group trip if I know that you're just gonna you're always gonna have a reason not to go?
I'm always gonna have a reason. I'm going. I'm telling you right now, I'm going. Set it up.
All right.
Casper's 35.
Yeah.
Set it up.
We here first.
You heard it here first. All right.
You're not going.
I am going, and that's that. We'll catch you guys next time. Y'all want to leave us off with anything?
He's not going.
I'm going. Then okay. So how about this? We're gonna shoot this episode. We're gonna post it, and then we're gonna shoot the vacation that we're on. We're gonna have a good time, and I'm gonna be there.
Okay.
Right.
Enjoy Peru. Wherever you go for your 35th, I'll be there. Maybe I should set up a trip.
It's not even gonna leave the draft. Like it's not even gonna get sent. It's not even gonna get sent.
And we're out.
Yeah.
Let me get the last word. We're out.
Make sure you subscribe.
Like
and subscribe. Share.